Hello and welcome to the Search Buzz video recap. My name is Barry Schwartz. Today is February 27th, Friday, and I'm going to cover the search news as we covered it over at seroundtable.com over the past week. So stay tuned, and we got a lot of news to cover. The biggest news probably this week in terms of news is that Yahoo announced that they are releasing some new online tools, online ad tools. One is search retargeting, which they explain as giving advertisers the ability to target display ads based on user search activities. So somebody searched on something and then they went to a website that Yahoo owns as a property, those ads will be somewhat targeted towards their previous search queries at Yahoo and Yahoo search providers. In addition, they also released something called enhanced retargeting, which allows advertisers to deliver dynamically generated display ads across the Yahoo network based on user activity on advertiser sites. So based on them browsing and what their actions are on Yahoo properties, Yahoo stores, or whatever it might be, the display ads that are shown to them on other Yahoo sites can be targeted based on that user activity on Yahoo's properties, behavioral targeting. In addition, enhanced targeting capabilities for search advertising, including ad scheduling and demographic targeting within search results. So, for example, that includes day parting. Yahoo's going to add to the search marketing tool day parting, as well as demographic targeting, such as I want to target men searching between the ages of 30 and whatever, who make X amount of money, etc., etc. So that's the big announcement by Yahoo. Some of these things are live today, and some of them are going live within next month or so. In terms of SEO stuff going on this week, there's a lot of discussion about Google having what people are calling a brand bias, meaning a lot of big brands are starting to rank very, very well in the search results where they once were not ranking very well. Now, Aaron Wall did a very, very analytical and data-driven report showing how specific examples of different search results that are actually ranking brands more heavily in the actual search results. There was a Webmaster thread before Aaron's post asking about this, but obviously Webmaster World doesn't allow examples. But Aaron Wall's post is very, very detailed in the examples, and now there's a lot of discussion this week about why is Google doing this? Is this something about their Eric Schmidt's policy, which he had talked about last year, which is actually coming into the algorithm, or is it just something with an algorithm update that has nothing to do with this? A lot of people are discussing it. People are very skeptical. People are very nervous. You should definitely take a look at February 23rd at seroundtable.com, and you'll get enough links to the relevant conversations, and hopefully you'll be able to to use this for your advantage in the SEO space. Since November 2008, Google has been having blog search problems. Basically, they changed the way they index blogs. They now look at not just the RSS results, but they look at the full content of the page, which means a lot of results are coming up, a lot of false alarms are coming up for link commands because a lot of people have blog roles, and also a lot of false alarms are coming up for vanity searches and stuff like that to keep track of your reputation management issues. On February 26th, we did a post covering Jeremy over at Google, who said that that they will be releasing a new update early next month, which is next week. That will be a user-visible experiment, meaning you'll be able to see these experiments that Google's trying to do to basically fix the blog role detectors issue, as well as how the relevancy is working. They are going to start off with link queries, but they're going to be doing other things as well soon. So definitely keep a lookout for Google blog search and how it actually impacts the search results. And this is pretty big issue for a really long time. If you want more information, February 26th, seroundtable.com. There was an outstanding post over at Webmaster World in a paid forum, the supporters forum, talking about link building and how you can do it for 2009. A lot of these threads are out there, but this one is by Martini Buster, who's a link building expert, and he talks about owning your clicks, meaning when you get links, you want to have links from websites that are in your network, that are related to your site, that talk about what you talk about, because it's more natural that way. And those he's calling clicks. In the past, you used to try to maybe make your own, you used to try to be part of those clicks, get links from those links, buy links from those clicks, stuff like that. And also in the past, you used to try to build your own clicks, but by making your own network, by making your own websites. And the thread really goes into discussing how you don't necessarily have to make your own network. It's basically about using what's out there already and making it your own. There's definitely a lot of good discussion about that in that thread. I'm not going to give away all the tips, and it's mostly more of a discussion and thought process in that thread. But you definitely it's one of the reasons why you should pay the, I don't know, $100 or so to become a supporter of Webmaster World, because those types of threads are worth it just alone. Yahoo has been updating, and like they have been with the search marketing campaigns, they've been going into people's accounts and making changes. The recent change they made this week was actually lowering people's minimum bids. So now you're paying less for your keywords, and Yahoo's doing this automatically. The question is why? For some campaigns, they have to lower the minimum bids in order for the ads to display. Otherwise, the ads go into an inactive status, and they're not active, and they go inactive, and they won't be able to display. If they're not being displayed, Yahoo's not making money. The advertiser's not showing their ads. They're not making income from those ads. So Yahoo went into a lot of accounts and started to automatically reduce the minimum bids and requirements for those accounts, and that means there's a lot more ads going on. The question is this going to benefit the advertiser, or is Yahoo just doing this to make some money? Earlier this week, there was a Google image search update. If you want more information about that update, definitely take a look at our February 23rd post at seroundtable.com. They do an update about every few months or so, but it seemed to be increasing the amount of updates, the frequency of updates in Google image search. So last month there was an update too. So maybe Google's be having a fresher Google image index shortly. So Google released Google Latitude. Google Latitude is basically a program that allows you to share your location, either via your mobile phone or your web browser, with your friends. Google Latitude will basically put a little box on iGoogle showing you where you and your friends are last time they figured out your location. It's pretty popular. People love it. Obviously, there's privacy implications, but don't share your location with people you don't know, and you'll be okay. But an interesting thing happened this week. My brother-in-law was on his way to Florida. He was in actually Newark Airport in New Jersey, and he had a flight to Florida. Upcoming, in Florida. But when I looked at him in iGoogle at the Google Latitude, it was showing him as being in Florida at Fort Lauderdale International Airport. The question was, he wasn't there yet. He was still in Newark. Why was Google showing him as being in Fort Lauderdale Airport? He was suspecting maybe that Google was looking at his Gmail emails, his content in his emails, and saying, oh, he's going to be in Florida, because he wrote to people that he's going to be in Florida, and maybe they looked at his emails and said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put you in Florida because you're supposed to be there in the next couple hours. I doubt that's the case. There's a lot of bugs with Google figuring out where you are, but just the coincidence of Google showing him at that airport where he's going to be in the next few hours was pretty interesting to me, especially when he was in Newark Airport and the show my IP information was actually rendering back to the New Jersey or New York area. Just interesting. We noticed that Google News has added over 20,000 news sources. About a few months ago, it showed, search and browse news of 4,500 news sources across the web. Now, all of a sudden, Google News is showing search and browse over 25,000 news sources. So it seems they have added over 20,000 news sources sometime between now and probably a few months ago. So I mean that was pretty interesting. In addition, Google News had a bug where they were dropping out a bunch of publishers from the index, and this happened on February 24th. It just turned out to be a bug. There was a lot of concern over this, but it was just a bug, and all those publishers should be back in the index. If you are an AdWords customer and you use Google Analytics to track your cost data and all that type of information from your AdWords to your analytics, make sure those analytics accounts are linked. If they are not, you only have a certain amount of time to link them, up to March 4th. If they're not linked, the data will not transfer through. It's a security thing. If you want to read more about how to link them and why you have to link them and what the reasoning is behind this, definitely take a look at our post at seroundtable.com on February 27th. Huge news. Google has joined Twitter. If you go to twitter.com/Google, they joined Twitter. In a matter of 24 hours, they received over 20,000 followers. That's huge. Yahoo, in comparison, only has less than 5,000 followers, and they've been on Twitter for a really long time. Microsoft Live Search has about 1,400 followers, and they've been on Twitter for a long time as well. Ask.com only has 94 followers. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter at twitter.com/RustyBrick. I have about 3,400 followers, and it's just interesting. Google has joined Twitter. Bam, 20,000 followers in no time. The rest, nobody really cares about. I don't know if you noticed, Mardi Gras was this week. We have several logos from AOL, Live Search, and from ourselves. Google, Yahoo, Ask did not have any theme up for those days. Thank you for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the February 27th edition. Tune in next week for next week's news. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll speak to you guys next week.